Intuition beats AI. Let me set the stage for you real quick. Imagine you're with me in that meeting back in April in Frankfurt at the German Football Association, or DFB. We were planning the marketing campaign for the women's national team for the time leading up to the Women's Euro in July in Switzerland. And our aim, was to gain momentum prior to the tournament so that we can better leverage all the buzz that's being created once the tournament has started. And as the world's largest sports association, the DFB spends and invests heavily in the sport of football, but guess what? Marketing budgets are always really tight. The brand message for the women's national team at the time has been that the team stands for diversity, for togetherness, and a we that is stronger than the I. Trust me, in German that sounds and reads a little bit better and definitely comes across smoother, but still, one of the big questions that I had in that meeting is that the message that we need to convey to better engage fans? And we also had a lot of great ideas of how to gain and generate more attention for the team, but they were all connected to pretty significant media investments. So our focus had to be to maximize the impact of our own social media channels because budgets were just not there. And at the same time, we wanted to make sure that we leverage, to the best of our possibility, the wealth of expertise that the great people working in that project at DFB had, and reduce our dependence on external agencies. So when you have these two focuses in mind, you ask yourself, okay, how can we get to that point, and how can we actually reach those objectives, right? So what we did also was put all of this into AI, obviously, into different tools, and asking them to provide us with input for those problems that we had. And interestingly enough, what we got back from those input from those queries and prompts that we put in was actually pretty similar to what we already put together. So were we on the right track already? Let me show you real quick some examples of the type of content that we were posting back then. So as you can see, it was all professional and well-produced, no question, but sometimes it just felt a little bit too scripted and not as authentic or, relatable as it could have been. So we asked ourselves once again, we challenged our approach and wanted to try something completely new that we hope will get us closer to what really resonates with fans, and that's the Deep Implicit methodology developed by Frank.
Thank you. You may know that you're looking for your wallet, your keys, or your passport. Who of you knows this? Raise hands. This situation. It happens to me all the time. Yeah? And there was a Monday where I needed to fly to UK. So I needed a passport. I could not find that. So I was really going crazy. But then I was reminded to the meditation techniques that I recently learned. So what did I do? I went into meditation mode, calmed down, walked the house, and suddenly I got this knowing. I went downstairs into the basement, opened the drone case, and there it was, my passport. Today, we would like to show you how you can find the insights to your toughest business questions, just like I found my passport. We do that with a methodology called implicit. And you may think we are qualitative researchers. Actually, we don't. I'm an AI developer since 30 years. I developed an AI in my PhD that finds the cause and effect in marketing. Yeah, and I built a company called SUPRA on it, where we use market research data, neuroscience data to find cause and effect with AI. And I presented my work already 5 times here in ESOMAR. And can you tell you something? AI is an input-output machine. The greater the input is, the better is the output. So how does it work? I'll tell you a secret. We already know. Just like I found my passport, we can tap on knowledge we don't know we have. And you know what? Einstein did it too. He had a habit. During lunch, after lunch, he would sit down in his chair with a key in his hand and would nap. And at the moment where he drifts off, the key would fall down and wake him up, and his ideas float. So he used the transition from consciousness to unconsciousness to spark his intuition. That's his trick, and you can use it too. But we found a different way. So actually, what we did, we developed an audio track system, which we can even generate with AI. An audio track system which takes listeners into the alpha brainwaves mode. So it borrows techniques from meditation, hypnosis, and scientifically engineered background sounds. Let me show you how it works. So actually, those audio tracks are in an app, app. You can ask me later, I can give you the QR code to try it out, right? So, and this we are using now for the DFB. And let me first take you through the process. So, the process starts, of course, that we need people to go through this process, respondents. The big difference to conventional market research is, in market research, we ask people about their opinion, why do they buy, their perceptions. Here, we are not looking about their opinion, we are looking for their intuition about what someone else will do. So in this makes us not so dependent that it's actually the target group. They just need to know the category. So they basically receive a link to an AI-produced audio file. AI-produced because we can alter automatically the question at hand. And this audio takes 10 minutes. Yeah, so the respondents basically do it at home, at their couch, or at the bed, relax, have a great time. And at minute 7, the audio asks the research question, and the respondent is asked to basically hear the first idea with the sparkled sound. Yeah? So in this very first idea, he is requested to write down. And that's what we do. Yeah? We collect that. We have some mechanisms to spot rational responses. And so the selected respondents, we basically use AI to write a summary. All right? So let's have a look what we found for the German Football Association. Okay. So we found, maybe before I tell that, it was super interesting that we interviewed 12 employees of the German Football Association and also 50 students of the University of Westphalia. Yeah, and this all went through this process. And what was striking is that both groups produced the same results. Yeah? And even more interesting that 2/3 or 3 or 4 kind of describing the same thing. people share the same intuition about it. And these were the results here: authenticity and emotion instead of gloss, making personalities visible, creating community fans as part of a team. On the surface, it's about authenticity and approachability, but what's the fundamental core is identification. So it's identification, the player is a bit like me, and identification, the team shares my values. So it has really two stages. Yeah, and with those results, the German Football Association improved their marketing.
So how did we translate this into content for the campaign? Here, you've seen these examples, that was the before, and here are some examples of what the type of content we posted after implementing the results of the analysis. And as you can see, you see the players in more everyday situations. The content is generally less staged, it's a little bit more natural, and overall, they just come across more relatable and with genuine emotions, right? The shot on your right, for example, is a screenshot from a reel, and that has become one of the best performing content pieces ever on that channel. And it was shot during training camp, and it has no football content whatsoever. What they're doing is actually, the players and staff are celebrating, I think it was a birthday. So there's nothing football related in it, but still it performed so well. Just because actually that type of content helped fans to better connect to the players and not only see them as professional athletes, but more like relatable individuals just like you and me. And I think this is actually a very interesting connection to the first presentation that we heard, where we had a similar result. So we're at the market research conference, right? What have we not seen yet? Oh, come on, guys. Wake up. The numbers. Thank you. So let's take a look. So here, what we did is, we did a before and after. I don't know why this thing does not work. So there we go. We did a before and after for KPIs on the Instagram channel. And that is the most important social media platform for the team. And we saw a significant boost in June during the campaign versus our May baseline, which you can see there in blue. So keep in mind, there is no Women's Euro content in there, which would naturally be more successful. And at the same time, I don't know if you remember, June was the month where actually the men's under-21 European Championship took place. And the German team made it to the finals. So that was actually the focus of the football world in Germany at that time. And we still got those results, which makes this even more remarkable. On average, the content had over 120% plus in terms of those KPIs. And that shows that the results really helped us to achieve more with less.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
But it's getting better. Because you may think, isn't that trivial? Of course, you need to relate more and stuff like that. So we really wanted to find out, are the findings trivial or are they uniquely new? So we did in parallel a quantitative study, with help of Question Pro. We interviewed a panel. And what we did, we prepared beforehand what are the driving factors to win Bundesliga fans. So we worked with the Bundesliga club. Experts sat down, what are potential drivers? And we had this study ready. But taking the results from the Deep Implicit, there was one item missing. The club shares values I support. So we added just this one item to it. And we took the data from the field and we applied an AI which finds a causal effect for Causal AI, which is a better driver analysis, a modern driver analysis, which really can consider all context situations and so forth. And what this Causal AI found surprised even myself. It actually found that the item we added, the club stands for something I support, was by far the most important driver quantitatively to win fans for Bundesliga clubs. And the second theme of authenticity was the third most important driver as well. So the study validated what we found in Deep Implicit by tapping on the intuition of people. So let me summarize that. So with this method, we are filling a gap, and I need to also remind you what actually intuition is. So intuition is not emotion, and intuition is not thinking either. Yeah. So to access intuition, we need to quiet emotion and quiet the mind, and that's why we use this audio system methodology. And it is basically a new alternative qualitative research method. Yeah? It adds something to the mix and is qualitatively different. And the very interesting part is it is super practical. Yeah? We just need a few respondents. We can scale it. Yeah? We are not dependent on interviewers. Yeah? We can have results next day. And as we have seen, it has a potential to improve the results of AI. Let me explain why that is. AI can produce great insights, but only if you ask the right question. And you may only ask the right question if deep down inside of you, you're already sensing the truth. So AI, intuition, is not a nice to have in our AI world. It's a fundamental cause of a competitive advantage. So let me ask you, how could your research improve if you could start it with a seed of truth? So let's stop ignoring intuition. Let's use the power we already have, because deep down, we already know. Yes.